guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is welding inspection practical. It is very important for whoever want to appearing the CSWIP 3.1 exam. This is very important because they will give a practical plate, means they will give a sample plate to you and you have to find out the defect by the instrument you have to find out and by the visual you have to find out. So you have to know how you have to find out defect and how you have to measuring the defect, particular defect by the weld cam gauge, and how many gauges are there, and what are the exam paper, means plate sample paper where you have to write down all the defects. So all these things we have to discuss today. So this is plate inspection practice. You have to practice this one, then you can get knowledge where I have to write all these details in your exam. So this is what is this? The purpose of this season is to practice the reporting format required by CSWIP in the practical plate examination part of the CSWIP 3.1 Welding Inspector exam. So in the Welding Inspector exam in CSWIP 3.1, I have to report how you have to report the format, how you have to fill up the format. So you have to practice in this video, so you can get the clear knowledge. Remember, the responsibilities of a welding inspector are very important: the observe, report, and compare. So you have to think three things you have to check. First, there is a plate, you have to check the all these things, observation. In that observation, you have to find out what is defect and what is the acceptance criteria, and what you can say that acceptable, it can be acceptable limits under. So you have to think three things are there: observe, report, and then you have to compare. So what is the observe? To observe the welding imperfection, you are required to have good close vision acuity. So you don't have the vision, close vision acuity, so you cannot get the correct observation in the welding visual. So in the CC 3.1 is very important. The eye test is very important for that one. A close vision acuity test will be given to you before your exam to establish if your vision meets the minimum standard requirement. So before exam, you need to get on eye test, that you have the good vision, close vision, then you can uh, meets the all standard required. So you can get the, you can see the welding visual. It is not just the project that must meet the standard. So it is not particular for the project, you have to meet the standard requirement. You will also require a thorough knowledge of the welding imperfection and their likely location, causes, and implication. So welding imperfection you have to know before you are giving exam. So you have to know the welding imperfection, how many types of welding imperfection are there, where it can be located, and what are the causes, why it's happened, this, what are the cause, and the what are will be the implication. If this is there, this defect are there, what can be implications are there. So that it should be, you should know before you give the CC 3.1 exam. Now, specialist welding gauges. What are the welding gauges are there? You should know the number of specialist welding gauges are available to measure the various elements that need to be measured in the welded fabrication, including means in welding fabrication area, you have to check the what type of elements, means in the you can say the bar weld, in the fillet weld, where you have to check what are the requirement as per standard. So you have to check from TWI multifunction welding gauge for measuring many different weld measurement. In you can say in TWI multifunction weld gauge is the very important weld gauge, and that one is the best one. I have also used in the every project, and you can get the various different weld measurement. You can say, you can see from that gauge. Second one is the fillet weld gauges for measuring leg length and throat thickness. So it's a specialist mentioned that fillet weld means the fillet welding you can only see the leg length and the throat thickness. And the last one is high-low gauge for measuring misalignment and root gaps. So in this misalignment and root gaps, you cannot find out from the multifunction weld gauge. So these three gauges is very important for the any project's weld measurement. Angle gauges for measuring weld preparation angle. So definitely it also require, but you this angle gauges for measuring weld preparation angles you can get from TWI multifunction weld gauges. You can say from that one you can see also angle gauges means bevel preparation how much angles are there. So TWI multipurpose welding gauges you see one by one I will show you how you have to check. You can see this is what is checking here. This is bevel angle is checking from this weld gauge. So this is angle of preparation. You see here 40 degree, 50 degree, 60-degree angle. So this angle you can see you have to check by this way. You see here the 40 degree is here. So the scale reads from 0 to 60 degree and step of 5 degree means each step is 5 degree means this is 50, this is 55, this is 60, this is 40, this is 45 and this is 50. So this old bevel angle is 40 degree. So the scale reads you understand 0 to 60 degree means in weld cam gauge there is measurement you can take from 0 to 60. The angle is read against the chamfer edge in the segment. So this is the chamfer by welder or fitter and fabricator. So after that you can see how much chamber is there means how much bevel angle is there you can see from here. Now you see the different that one I shown the first one the bevel angle. Now you see the misalignment. You understand the misalignment? Those are the welding inspector. Those are engaged in welding supervisor or welding area. Definitely this they know the very well. This is the very much misalignment is there from here to here. You see from here to here this is the misalignment. So how we have to check this is the you have your comb gauge and you have to this is the your pointer. So very important things you have to check here. This is two scale. One is the millimeter from here to 0. When you have to check the bridge cam gauge, before that you need to calibrate calibration. So after calibration, that you have to check this type of defect misalignment. So you see here, this is one side from 0 to here, this area 25 mm. This is the mm, and you can see here from here to here 1 inch means 0 inch 1/4 inch half inch 3/4 inch and 1 inch. So this is the 1 inch means 25 mm and this is 0 to 25.4 mm and 0 to this 25 mm. So for inch also 25 mm is there and for but it is in measure in inch for but mm in also 25 mm is there. So you understand from 0 to here is very important from 0 to 1 2 3 4 5 this line is this is the mm but inch is closed is up to here from here to here you see for inches for the back side also 6 or 7 line and from 0 to here also is there. So the scale is used to measure misalignment of components by placing the edge of the gauge on the lower one. You see, the lower one is the edge of the gauge, and rotating the segment. You see the rotating. This segment is rotating until the pointer contacts the hair piece. So hair piece already contacts. Then you have to measure for here. So you can how you can measure? It is 0. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4 misalignment from here. Now from here in inch, how you have to find out? You have to check first 0 to 1. How many segment are here? Means want how many gaps are there, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 or 8. So this is one example. So how you have to find out? So if it is 8 into means 1 2 3 4, 4 into 8 32 segment is there, 32 segments. So then 1 inch is equal to 25.4 mm. Then 25 divided by 32.4 is equal to, it will be the one segment. So in that case you have to find out one segment. If you find out zero point 0.7, then how many segment is there? Then 6 segments, 6 into zero point 0.7 means 4.2 mm. So you have to find out in that way. So you have to understand that misalignment, how you have to check. Now you have to check the undercut. How you have to check the undercut? You see, your this is the undercut. The scale reads from how it is 0 to negative up to 5 mm. Here is 0. You see here 0 to negative is the 5 mm. The segment is rotated until the pointer. You see the until the pointer is the reach the full depth of the undercut. So you have to check the full depth of undercut. You have to check. You have to connect for that one to that area. Then you have to find out from the here how much mm is here actually. So this is, you can say the mm is here. So it is the only example. How much mm is it, you cannot see here because the 5 mm is up to here is the mm, then it is coming 1 inch. So here you can find out 1 2 3. So how, if it is one segment is 0.7, I already calculated that in the first one, the how you will have to calculate it, the one segment is zero point 0.8, then you have to 3 into 0.8 means 2.4 mm is the undercut. So you have understand the undercut, how you have to calculate it and how you have to measure by bridge cam gauge. Now you have to check the weld reinforcement, excess weld metal. So there is excess weld metal is there. So how much, how you have to check? You see here the your pointer will be here and the scale is used to read up this dimension up to a maximum of 25 mm and the 1 inch. So up to 25 mm you can measure from here this scale, and the up to 1 inch you can check from this bridge cam gauge. So you see the pointer is here. So this mm you can find out from mm how much it is coming. This mm, you see the mm is here, means 1 2 3 4 5. So the 5 mm is the reinforcement, it is counting from this scale as per example. Same here, you can find out 1 2 3 4 5 6, 6 into 0.7 or zero point 0.8, how you have calculated in the one segment and the inch to mm. Then you have to see that from how much segment is coming into how much how much segment is coming to each segment, how much. So you can calculate it from that area. Now you see here how you have to calculate it. The fillet leg length. Fillet leg length is very important for the fillet gauge. You see that this is the normal penetration is here. You have to put your bridge cam gauge in the one plain area. In that area you see here, and you have to pointer, you have to go like this way, and you can say 5 6 7 8, 8 mm is the leg length as per the example it has shown in this picture. The scale is used to read up to 25 mm and 1 inch. So you have understand the fillet weld leg length, how you have to measure. Now you can check the fillet weld throat thickness. This is two things is very important, the fillet weld in the leg length and the throat thickness. This is the very important for the fillet weld. So fillet weld throat thickness, what are the this scale, how much mm it can measure? It is 20 mm it can measure, means 3 4 inch. In measuring throat thickness, it is assumed that the fillet weld has normal root penetration. So you can see in their normal root penetration is there, so you can understand that the root penetration is normal. How you have to check from there throat thickness, when you have to check, then you can find out that you can assume that the fillet weld has normal root penetration. So you see here, this is one now is there. When you have to lose that area, you can find out, then it can push light from back and forth, so we can understand the fillet throat thickness, how much it is coming from here. You see, for 15, and here you can understand 17. So what are the mention here, the here is one side is inches and one side is mm. So how much mm is, it is clearly mentioned when you see the bridge scan gauge. So how much thickness is coming, then you can find out from here. So you can find out from here also, this type of gauge, GAL, the leg length, GAL is the company name. The leg length, throat thickness, how you can find out from this type of gauge. This is very useful for the fillet weld. Now you see the high-low welding gauge, means it is used basically for the root gap or internal alignment. It is okay or not. So you can see here the internal alignment from here. So how much from here to here, this is the internal alignment. You can find out how much from here, that is the mention. From here to here, how much is coming, this is the internal alignment. And also root gap dimension, you see the root gap, how it is coming here, you can see from the this type of high-low welding gauges. So plate inspection practice is very important. What you need to do? Use a pencil for the arrow lines, but make all written comments and measurement in ink only. First, you have to use a pencil to make the all arrow lines, but make all written comments, you have to measurement in ink only. This is very clear. Report everything that you can observe. What you have observed, you have to report in everything in your report. But defect in acceptance criteria is the different thing. Do not forget to compare and sentence your report. So you have to compare and sentence your report. What is the actual defect is here. Do not forget to date and sign your report. You have to mention the date and sign in your report. Make any observation such as recommendation for further investigation for crack line information. So observation, if you think that any type of further investigation are required, so you have to mention there. So thumbprint report sketch, how it looks like, on what will be the requirement before you start. First is, after you have observed an imperfection and determined its type, you must not able to take measurement and complete the thumbprint report sketch. Means you observe one imperfection and determine its type. So determine that is the type of the imperfection. You must be able to take measurement. You have to take measurement for that particular defect and complete in the thumbprint report sketch. Second is, the first thumbprint report sketch should be in the form of a repair map of the weld. So there is a repair map of the weld. So you have to report sketch should be in the form. All observation are identified, size and located. So all observation you have to identify size and where it is located. The thumbprints report sketch used in CCV exam will look like the following example. How it looks like the thumbprint report sketch, you see here. This is the name. You can understand block capital. You have to mention the block signature, test specimen identification, code used, which code is used, welding process, joint type, welding position, which position you have particular is that welding. So all this you have to mention in the thumb report sketch, because it is, you can get from the all these details in your uh, exam paper, what type of welding process, all these things. So you have to fill up all this here. So you can see how you have to fill up this form. You see, from here to here 10 mm. After 10 mm you have find out some 30 mm undercut. Cap undercut, it's mentioned D depth 1.0. So this is the your written. You have to write like this way. You see, from 53 mm from the left hand side, it is the LHS and RHS. 5 mm, that is the pour stop and start is there. So this is the length. How much? 5 mm. See 63 mm after, there is a porosity of 24 mm length, there is a porosity. So all these things you have to mention clearly, then it will be clearly understandable. All dimensions are in mm. Note you have to mention like this way. Excessive cap height, full well length is equal to 5 mm maximum. So the cap height with the 5 mm maximum. If it is more than 5 mm, that is a defect. So final report, how you have to prepare the final report? After you have completed your thumbprint report sketch of your test plate, in the next step is to complete your final report. Again, the report must be completed in the ink. So no pencil should be there. The final report should be in the all will be the ink. The report must be completed to your thumbprint sketch. Do not leave any box as empty. So any box should not be empty. Every box must be completed and touched out. You must means every box shall be completed. You must also make any comments you feel are necessary regarding any defects of that. You can see the defects have some comments. You can make comments there. The report forms used in CSWIP will look like in the following example. So report form, how it is report form. That thumbprint report sketch is there. You have to fill up that sketch like this way, like that way, and the how it is the report form. You see here report form. External defects, because you cannot see the internal defect here, only the visual external defect. Defect type you see here, reinforcement height appear incomplete filling inadequate. So how much it is coming, you have to all these things you have to mention here. If it is, you see here, inadequate weld width, they did not find anything. So it is, if it is not find anything, so you have to mention none means accept. You have to find out some length 300 mm reinforcement in height is 2.5 mm maximum, but it is mentioned in the your report maximum allowable is 2 mm, so it is rejected. So you have to check all these things and you have to mention all these details you have to fill up here. You understand? Undercut, surface porosity, you can get one by one. You see cracks, this is length equal to 8 mm, this is length 8 mm, there is a crack. Definitely, the crack, it is not never acceptable, so it is rejected. Or strike, you see two areas, definitely it is rejected. So you understand the things, the allowable tolerance if it is there, so you have to find out if it is anything beyond the allowable tolerance, then it is definitely rejected. If it is nothing is there, means this tolerable means it is accepted. So I think you understand this inspection practical plate, how you have to find out all type of defect in the CSWIP exam and how you have to measure. This is very important who those are want to do the CSWIP exam. The plate, definitely they will give a plate this type of defects, definitely they can see flag inclusion, undercut, incomplete filling, definitely this type of defects you can see there. So you can find out definitely this type of defect from this video what I have shown to you. See here the misalignment, excessive penetration. So all these things you have to fill up as per the actual measurement. So definitely this pipe or plate has been examined to the requirement. Which code it is mentioned you have to mention, and it is accepted or rejected you have to mention. So it is rejected accordingly. What is the signature is there? So use the other side of the comments. You have any comments? So you have to mention their comments other side. So I think hope you understand the full videos. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe my channel to get the regular updates regarding the topic. Thanks a lot.